Well, hello there, my fellow codfish. Good times with Scott here, bringing you another super awesome Modern Warfare 3 gameplay commentary on Interchange. So let's take a little look at what we're using before we get into today's commentary. We've got our MK14 with a red dot for precision accuracy. We've got our secondary of unknown name, I always forget. And for our kill streaks, we've got our Predator, Airstrike, and Reaper. Sleight of hand, hardline, and marksman rounds out our perks. So let's get into our topic today, and that is Scar's been gone for a really long time, but he's back. Yay! Alright, so my last video, I explained to you guys that I would be gone for a little while, but I would have a few videos pre-prepared for you guys. But unfortunately, my length of the stays were a little longer than anticipated, so my videos kind of ran dry, so I apologize about that. But I thought I'd update you guys today on how the surgery went and the aftermath, so let's get into that. So like I said, went into surgery, and I explained before that the surgery itself is pretty straightforward, but coming out of surgery and the anesthesia process is very, very rough on me. So things went well. The surgery itself went perfectly. Got the tubes have been placed and they're working just like they should. The problems with anesthesia were there, but things went pretty well. We really went over before the surgery with the anesthesiologist, went over with the anesthesiologist, went over everything about what happens to me, and things went pretty smooth. The MICU nurses were, is that what they call the after anesthesia room? Whatever. They were kind of bums. They weren't very good. They didn't go by a lot of the stuff that I told them to do, but things went okay. So surgery started out, they like to keep me awake for as long as possible before the surgery starts. So you get to see a lot of weird things that kind of a normal person may never see, like them scrubbing up, placing the drapes, getting out all the clamps and little thingamabobs that you would see in like a torture chamber, things like that. A lot of like joking around with the surgeons and the nurses, things that are very interesting, very funny. So they knocked me out after all that, and what I wanted them to do was, after the surgery was over, and have the breathing tube stay in a little longer to let me come back out of anesthesia, so I would have my muscles are a little bit more awake, a little more active before they start having me breathe on my own. And that's really what helped me this time, I think, get over it a little bit faster. So I partially woke up with the breathing tube in my mouth, and they kind of like you're testing my reflexes and stuff like that, see if I'm awake enough, and so that it was removed. And so yeah, the breathing was somewhat under control. It was difficult, but I was able to start breathing on my own. The problem was with pain, and that they didn't want to give me any painkillers to get rid of the pain from the surgery, but the painkillers will suppress your breathing, especially the narcotic kind, and it hurt like crazy. And especially when I started to throw up and you started pulling on all the incisions, and it was absolutely miserable. So I tried to kind of mouth a few painkillers that are not narcotic based that I could have, but the nurses were just, oh, that's nice, ha ha ha, like, you idiot. But that was just really frustrating. But so that went well. Then I was sent up to the ICU to monitor my breathing. Not that the surgery went wrong or anything, but they just wanted to keep a really close eye on me and my breathing and stuff like that. And in there, they finally gave me a shot of morphine, but then I had an allergic reaction to it. So overnight after the surgery, I just sat like staring at the wall in like just terrible pain. Then I had all these giant welts from the allergic reaction to the morphine. But eventually I got over it. I started to recover, and this sent me on home and started to think about making videos again. But unfortunately, I kind of really went downhill. We really weren't sure what was going on. My heart rhythm was a little bit off. I had a really high heart rate, extreme thirst, and things like that. It turned out that the bag that is attached to my stomach to kind of decompress it after the surgery was draining out all of my electrolytes, and it was affecting my potassium. And potassium is a really important key in your electrolytes, especially with your heart and kidneys and different things like that. And it was getting really low, and very, very dangerously low, to a point where it had already affected the heart badly, but it could start putting me into seizures. So a few days later, I was just completely exhausted. And I was sitting there, my heart rate was 140 to 160. I had this crushing pain on my shoulders, and we called the ambulance. The ambulance had to come with the lights and the trucks. And so they picked me up, carted me off, and that's when they found the potassium to be dangerously low at the hospital. So over 2 days, they infused bag after bag of potassium into me, and magnesium also, and was able to stabilize my electrolytes, get that all back under control. And yeah, so I'm starting to feel quite a bit better now that the surgery's over, the pain from that's gone. That crazy 4 days in the hospital, again, getting the potassium back under control. And yeah, back in the hospital again, and I was on like the worst floor possible, the cardio floor, where they like to move you in the middle of the night, and it's just a huge mess. But I'm home now, doing pretty good, starting to dust off the Good Times with Scar video production facility. The gears are starting to turn. I just can't find my pickaxe. It's missing. It's gone. I'm trying to find it. So I can't wait to get back on Minecraft, start working on the tree again. So the videos will start a little bit slow, but I'm starting to get them out. We got Black Ops 2 coming out, so pretty darn excited about that. And yeah, so in the comments, I'd love for you guys to tell me what kind of Black Ops 2 videos you guys would like to see. Zombies, single player, multiplayer, what type of multiplayer videos, and Minecraft videos definitely be on the way out. So guys, I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos, and thank you for sticking around again. This has been like the 4th time this year that I've disappeared for quite some time, and you guys are always here supporting me. I always thank you for that, and we'll see you later.